Just test it out. Go down, up. Move it just a little bit more.
This way or that
Or
way?
just
In?
toward, yeah, in. No, the box. The box. Okay, that's good. Just so we. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. Now I gotta just, email the thingamajig. Actually, it's on my other computer. I'll be right back. Okay.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Happy belated Mother's Day.
Thank you. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Yeah?
Yeah. And then
Yeah, I know.
about to go crazy.
I know.
Inside the house.
Luckily, I'm still working, so
Oh, really?
the kids and we got to get out of the house every once in a while, but they're gaming out now. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. We bought a bunch of board games, so
Oh, okay.
that's what we've been doing.
Oh, yeah.
To like
Puzzles.
Yeah, puzzles and all that stuff. So it's
Fun.
been good though. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, Karina ain't working right now, so it's just.
Oh, she's not?
We decluttered. We like spring cleaning.
I know. So I guess we have boxes in the house. Like I've been bringing boxes from work and stuff, and slowly packing up. Like I went through all of these other boxes. Yeah, Rich always moves them.
Yeah.
She's like, well, why are you moving my boxes for? Yeah, just going through everything.
Yeah, same thing with us.
Got rid of like the first weekend, the whole back of Rich's truck.
Yeah.
Filled it all up.
Yeah, we went to the dumpster too. Yeah.
Yeah, decluttered. All kinds of stuff.
Rid of beds and whatnot.
I know.
Open.
So Karina's, she's not working at all?
No, not right now.
Oh,
She's on unemployment right now.
Yeah, just like a killer.
Yeah.
She finally got her unemployment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took a while to kick in.
She's doing that, but I guess as soon as it opens up again.
Oh, hopefully soon. We'll find out this week, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you.
Yep. Here. There you go. 5 minutes. Mm-hmm.
Are you still got water?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm putting it by the tackle box.
Okay. Are you able to open up, Luke?
Oh, it's Carter. How much?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, bro. Oh no, you good, bro. It's Hernandez. Hey, dude, could you reset Cassandra's password for that test? I guess it.
Like Google Slides.
I guess it didn't. It didn't want. She tried to do it today, and she said that I guess it expired or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Since you downloaded it.
Okay, cool. I'll let her know. She's off until like Friday, so she's gonna have plenty of time to do it. And then, okay, so she's gonna be getting her diploma, dude, on the 13th, I believe. Too. So just to let you know. Yeah. No. This month. This
And you
month.
have to pause it.
So hopefully I can bring her in as soon as she gets that.
It keeps going?
It's on play, mate. Here.
All right, bro. Sounds good. Okay. All right,
Is it
man.
not playing?
Yeah, it's on play.
I don't want it on play. It's so dark. That one? Slides only.
Yeah, it just goes.
Well, how do you take all this stuff out?
No.
I don't know.
Put it back to the slide again. You said you can pause it. How do you pause it? Okay, let it go. Is it still going? Yes, it's good.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if it doesn't move, then that means it's good.
So just go. You can just go back like that. Okay.
Thanks. I didn't fully edit it, but it has all this, and that. Okay, so just so you know, it has all this. This first, and then terminology. It goes one by one. There's a lot, and time is the last thing. Should be good. Cool. There's only 2 people online right now. We're gonna start in a couple minutes. There's only 2 people online, so thanks for being early. Carter, talk to you.
Yeah. He said he's gonna send her a new one.
It's kind of dark. That's what I forgot to use. Light. Can you call Stecker?
Yeah.
You got his number?
Uh-huh.
Can you tell him to put the link onto the WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Tell him that only 2 people are online right now.
All right.
It's almost 5 o'clock. YouTube link. Luke? Luke? Come here real quick. Looking for the light that I use on.
Oh
You moved it?
no, Michaela used it for a photo shoot.
Oh my gosh. You talked to him?
No, he didn't answer me.
There you go.
Thanks. Put it right there.
What's up? What's up?
What's out? Thanks. everyone's waiting for us.
Yeah.
We're on time this time. Can you see how
We
many
got 4.
Last time was a lot. So Cassandra's been studying.
Yeah.
I think I might have the link. Thanks. There we go.
United.
7.
Hi, good afternoon, sir. Is this? Hi, it's Buddy Venus. I'm just confirming an appointment that you made with the recruiter just recently.
Hey, Future Sailors, just 5 more minutes. We're waiting for a few more people.
To log on. last time we were about
18.
25 to 26. We have 45 future sailors, so it's just, I don't know what it is to keep reminding them.
Yeah.
It's still on. All right, so almost there. There's a lot of people that haven't logged on yet. So if you know people that aren't on, so I know we got Future Sailor Allen, Future Sailor Wilkinson, Future Sailor Lobato, Future Sailor Rector. So we got a good amount of future sailors, but we got a big depth pool. So keep letting them know, hey, if they haven't logged on, we're gonna start soon. So we got over 40 future sailors. So we want over 40 future sailors up here. So let's pass the word, put it on the WhatsApp. If you know their phone number, start letting them know. So a couple more minutes. And for the new future sailors, I know Future Sailor Rector's on here, and I believe Future Sailor Leos. Start looking at your Sailor's Creed. I'm pretty sure Future Sailor Leos knows hers already. She's CEO of her unit. Better know. But Future Sailor Rector, I believe it's page 5 or 6 on your start guide. We're going to read aloud the Sailor's Creed all together to start off the Dep meeting. All right, so we got over 21 now. Okay, so. All right, future sailors, we've been waiting long enough, so we're going to get started on this May Dep meeting. Myself, Petty Officer Venus is here, as well as Petty Officer Hernandez. So we have some new future sailors that haven't done this yet, but as we hope, we're getting more followers, so definitely good. But for the people that missed the Dep meeting, we record this on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, so you can always look back at this video and fast forward to the parts that you missed, or if you missed it completely, we're going to tell you to look at it afterwards. So it's saved on our YouTube channel, so that's one of the benefits of that. As you all, majority of you all know how we start off our Dep meetings with the Sailor's Creed. And so I know there's a few new future sailors. Look at your start guide if this is your first time doing it, but just read along and say it out loud with us. Usually there's a leader that starts it off and says, "Attention to the Sailor's Creed." And then everyone stands at attention. And then the leader starts off with, "I," and then everyone repeats everything else afterwards. "I am a United States sailor. I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and I will obey the orders of those appointed over me. I represent the fighting spirit of the Navy and those who have gone before me to defend freedom and democracy around the world. I proudly serve my country's Navy combat team with honor, courage, and commitment. I am committed to excellence and the fair treatment of all." Hoo-yah! All right, so for those that just did it the first time, start practicing it just like that. On your own, always do it at attention. And then when you do it as a group, if you're not used to doing it in unison, you always follow the leader, follow their speed, follow their how they're doing it. Each pause, whether it's a comma or a new paragraph, you always pause after that and follow the leader. Don't go too slow or don't go too fast of how the leader's doing it. So, but every single time you do the Sailor's Creed, stand at attention. So, but we got a bigger group now, so I'm looking at all the followers and people who's paying attention. So thank you for logging on. We're a little bit late. I know with technical difficulties, with computers and whatnot, you know, we don't always want to use that as an excuse. So to be on time is to be late. To be early is to be on time. But we want to start, on time at 1700 today. But I know with the computer thing, gave you guys a little bit extra time. So just remember that. We're going to go over our topics today. I can see in the back, we got our first topic. But as we always do it in the beginning, we're going to do our introductions with our new future sailors. So we have a total of 3 new future sailors as of right now. And so the first one that I already know is already on, future sailor Rector, representing San Diego, our neck of the woods. She went to Ramona High School. So I'm going to put out what she put out with her introduction. So future sailor Sydney Rector, welcome to our delayed entry program group. She's shipping out on September 2nd of this year as a Master at Arms. And she went to Ramona High School as well as Montecito High School. And she loves to travel and have new experiences. She is following her dad's footsteps. Her dad also served in the Navy, so booyah to dad. And one interesting thing about future sailor Rector is she completed her senior year of high school in 30 days. 30 days, 1 month, she completed her senior year. I know with her school, Montecito High School was a, what do you call that? I think it was an online charter school, but it was more like accelerated. So that's why she was able to do that. But good, shoot, if I had that choice, we would do it. Less trouble, stay out of trouble, and then go to boot camp earlier. So welcome aboard, future sailor Rector. All right, next future sailor, we have future sailor Destiny Leos. Future sailor Destiny Leos, where are you at? Represent. You better be online. All right, so she just joined recently, and she is from Belen, New Mexico. Represent. She's going to be an aviation mechanic safety equipment, AME, and she ships out on my mom's birthday, December 1st. Recruiters, Pediastra Stecca, future sailor Rector's recruiters, Pediastra Carter. Just wanted to put that out. And she went to Belen. She's still going to Belen High School. I think they're graduating, I would say in a week or so, right? All the high schools graduating in about a week or two. So congratulations, class of 2020. She put out that she joined the Navy because she wants to have a successful career and have support from my future family. All right, she's already thinking about the future, including family, which the Navy can definitely help you with your family. She's very determined, which I know she's very determined because she definitely, put her all into joining the Navy. So she did it. She also put out that she didn't want to be an ROTC come her freshman year in high school, but eventually she ended up loving it so much with JROTC at Belen High School, and she eventually became their commanding officer in her unit. So good job, CO. So good job, Belen. So welcome aboard, future sailor Leos. And then our last brand new future sailor is future sailor Anchondo. Better be online. I know Pediastra Heiner told you. So let me just get her description real quick. I don't think. So I know I think I'm still waiting for Petty Officer Heiner to send it to me, but Future Sailor Estrella Anchando just joined. She is going to be a airman professional apprenticeship career track program sailor. She's shipping out in November, but she is graduating soon and she wants to ship out as soon as possible. So we'll definitely get her a newer ship date. And that goes to all of you guys. For anyone that wants to ship out earlier, which you can, as long as we get approval, we'll definitely get you out earlier. As long as you're close to your 18th birthday or you are 18, you're already out of high school, and there's nothing holding you back as far as school and anything else. So you can definitely request earlier ship date. So we'll talk about that later on. But welcome aboard, Future Sailor Anchano. She is from New Mexico. She goes to Rio Grande High School, graduating, I believe, next week or two, in a week or two. So welcome aboard, Future Sailor Anchando. And that's our new Future Sailors. So before we begin our first topic, I think no one has been saying anything, so I think you guys can all hear us pretty good. If you guys can't hear us, let us know. If you can't see something, or if you want us to repeat something back or go back a slide, we'll definitely go back a slide. But without further ado, our first topic, it's a combination of three: phonetic alphabet, Navy terminology, and military time. So we're going to get started on the first one. So take notes. If you have questions, please do write a chat on their text on there. So Petty Officer Hernandez is going to go over phonetic alphabet. Yep.
Okay, so what is the phonetic alphabet? A list of words that substitutes letters. Pretty straightforward. Right, here it is. You guys do have it in your start guide as well. So if you guys want to go ahead and flip to it, that way you guys can have it in front of you as well. So start off with A, so Alpha, right? Then you Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf, Hotel. India, Juliet, Kilo. I don't know if you guys want me to say the letter and then should be, usually it's going to be the first letter. That's going to be the word, okay? Lima, Mike, November. Oscar, Quebec. Romeo, Sierra. Tango, Uniform, Victor. Whiskey, X-Ray, Yankee, and Zulu. So I'm an operations specialist, so we use a lot of comms. A lot of you guys are going to be on comms too, so this is pretty much how we spell things out to be very clear over the net. Sometimes it gets a little staticky and you can't really hear, right? But instead of saying M, you can just say Mike. We know that, that's going to be M. So good way to spell. I used it many times. Super simple. Like I said, that first letter is going to be the letter you're going to be using. Yeah, communications, and maybe you guys are in supply department too. So like all our cooks, all our LSs, our ship storemen, our barbers, you guys will use them too, just because when you guys communicate with someone else, maybe you need to order a part or something. That's how you say them too. That's how you relate the words out. You guys have any questions on the alphabet? Are we good?
I know there's a delay sometimes. Okay. It's pretty easy.
All right, so numbers, same thing for all our people in the combat systems. This is pretty much how we say our numbers. So 0 is going to be 0, 1 is going to be 1, right? Just try to pronunciate the W. 2 is 2. 3, you say it as tree, just because you could get it confused. So tree. 4, it's kind of hyphenated because you say the foe first and then word. 4, right? 5, you say fife. 6, same thing. 7, 8, 8, and then 9 is going to be niner. Fun fact: on a boat over the 1MC, it's the kind of the intercom system we use. You don't say 5 over it because it sounds like fire. So they usually skip 5. Just so you guys know. All right. For all the QMs and the BMs and I think the pack seamen, I think you guys speak over the 1MC as well. Any questions? Yes, tree, like a tree.
What was the question?
Yeah.
Someone had a question.
Yeah, he just put tree question mark.
Exercise.
All right. So let's just say it. Say the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 1 Niner 7 Niner November Alpha Victor Yankee Bravo Echo Alpha Tango Alpha Romeo Mike and Yankee, and then tree 1 tack 7. That's it. Easy.
All right. So before we go into that, all right. So we went over just phonetic alphabet. So you just, for one, just memorizing how to say it. Of course, a lot of them or half of them, you don't say it the same way as a normal alphabet. So you just have to remember the proper pronunciation.
Yeah, dash is hack.
Yeah. So future sailor vo, dash is tack. Yeah. So going back to the other one, tree 1 tack 7 over. So tree 1 tack, the dash. So there's going to be a lot of those that you're going to have, but that's more like advanced phonetic alphabet. But yeah, it's self-explanatory once you start getting used to it. All right, so it's a little technical difficulty with the light, so we're going to open up the garage, but it's very important to say it properly, just like what Pedro Hernandez is saying with 5 or fire. On the 1MC, you don't want to mistake it for fire or something like that. Or if you're doing communications on the ship or on the flight deck or something with your work, and you say the wrong number or say the wrong alphabet, and they can't understand you, you have to always make sure that they copy it correctly. So you always want to repeat it, have them repeat it back to you, just so you know that you got the right coordinates, whether it's latitude, longitude. There's a lot of, with fire control and getting fire ship to ship, or doing a exercise where, everything is just got to be on point. You always got to double check.
So one of the things I used to do, I used to be in charge of a system that we used to do ship-to-ship communications. So like NC1 did, right? 3-1 tack 7 over. We'll say over, and then we'll say how copy, right? And then they'll come back with like Lima Charlie, which means loud and clear, or they'll come back with repeating it. I copied 3-1 tack 7 over. And then if it's good, you don't say nothing. You roger out. Right? But if it's not, you kind of repeat yourself again. And that's how you pretty much clarify all that stuff.
So any questions before we move to the next topic? How can you best practice using these phonetic? Oh, that's a really good question, but just daily use. So you don't have to be on a Navy ship to start practicing it now. So with future sailor Cassidy Clodfelter, I can just practice spelling your name. Charlie, Alpha, Sierra, India, Delta, Yankee, Charlie, Lima, Oscar, Delta, Foxtrot, Echo, Lima, Tango, Echo, Romeo. I just spelled out your name, future sailor Clodfelter. So you can do that with yourself. Read a newspaper, reciting the phonetic alphabet. You'll get the hang of it right away. Future sailor Womack, may you please repeat the part about 5?
Oh, 5. So 5 sounds like fire, right? So, see, it's spelled F-I-F-E.
F-I-F-E.
So Fife.
So you want to pronunciate the F's.
Yeah. So Fife is how you say it over the 1MC if you say it. But what I was getting at is that if you guys are speaking over the intercom or the 1MC like we call it on a ship, you don't say 5 at all. So if you're doing a countdown, you kind of skip it over and go right to 6. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and so on and so forth, right? So you skip it over because it sounds like fire. That's the only reason. It's also like a tradition thing. So.
Oh, Future Sailor Cloud Filter said that was cool. That was cool. Like Fife or Fire. Okay, cool. All right, so I think Future Sailor Womack got it. So thumbs up for Future Sailor Womack. Any other questions before we move to the next topic, which is Navy terminology?
And just to be clear, it's Fife, not fire, okay? Fife.
Yeah, fine. All right. Yes, dash. Go over that again.
Yeah, dash is tack. Instead of saying dash, right, like it said there, 3-1, tack 7, you just say tack, and that's all it is.
Maybe terminology. We'll just take turns.
Okay.
Start off with this one.
Cool. So this is adrift, a loose from mooring and or out of control, appeal to anything lost, or out of hand or left lying around. So adrift, you're gonna hear it a lot. Gear adrift, right? In berthing, usually everyone's gonna have to sleep there, so it's usually a check thing, right? Gear adrift is just something laying around, or the best way I could think of it is like a ship drifting off, right? It's just there, kind of not doing nothing. It doesn't belong there. So yeah, adrift.
Yeah, just keep going with the questions as we move forward. If we're going too fast, we'll slow down. But we're going to keep going if we don't see any questions on the board here. Aft end, near or toward the stern of the vessel. Vessel, ship, submarine. Aft, the stern of the vessel. Stern of the vessel is the back. So it's near or toward. So if that's the direction, when you're explaining something of which direction you want to go or where something is, a location, I'm going to the aft end of the ship. Okay, so that automatically says, explain that I'm going back in the ship. Towards the stern of the vessel, but as you can see, it says near or towards. So you don't have to be all the way at the stern, but you can just start going towards it or going near it. So that's aft end.
All hands, the entire ship's company, both officers and enlisted. So good example is you guys do a all hands call, usually every month or so, and it's just the captain kind of requesting everyone to meet in one place. So all hands on deck. They say 2, right? So whenever you guys are doing like an evolution, like replenishment at sea type thing, it's usually an all hands event. You'll hear the word all hands. So that just means everyone. Doesn't matter if you're enlisted or an officer.
Aye, aye. A reply to an order or command, meaning I understand and I will comply. So, of course, you see 2, I, tack, I. So that's the complete aye. But you might hear people just say it just one. Just say aye. Aye, sir. Aye, chief. Saying that you understand. Someone said something to you, telling you an order or telling you a command. And so before they can see if you understood it or if you understand the whole complete task, aye, you'd say aye. I can't remember who that is, but what if you're on watch? So, Periapsa Venus, why do they not use the number 5?
Because it's just over the 1MC. You still use it, just over the 1MC over the intercom.
Case by case, certain occasions.
Especially if you're out to sea. Yeah, don't use phone.
And then, what if you're on watch?
If you're on watch, it doesn't apply to you. You're doing your watch. So
Okay, so Future Sailor Womack is all good now with the number 5. Okay. 5. But aye. That's what you want to say, Future Sailor Womack. Aye. Petty officer. Aye.
barracks until you can reach U5, and then you guys can get VH. So barracks is just where you live, right? It's kind of like an apartment.
Dorms.
Yeah, like a dorm room at first. So it could be that it's going to be you by yourself, or you might have a roommate. But yeah, that's the barracks.
This one should be an easy one below, downstairs. So you always got the above the ship, below the ship. You're always gonna head downstairs, below. So I don't know how else I can explain.
So they like to say like go lay below. So when you get relieved from watch, you kind of salute off to the OOD, the officer of the deck, and they give you permission to lay below. So that means, all right, you're good to go. Like, go. So lay below, just barracks on the bottom. I mean, where you sleep is on the bottom, so lay below. Yeah.
Below foot. Thank you. Safety.
Bright work, brass or shining metal, kept polished rather than painted. So when you go on board of a ship, you're gonna see that there's a lot of brass, right? And they like to shine it. So you'll get it's kind of like the special cotton that shines brass, makes it really shiny, makes the appearance of the ship look good. So yeah, bright work.
Bulkhead is the wall. So there's a lot of terminology that you're gonna have to start getting used to, especially when it comes to boot camp. You say normal stuff and you go tell your RDC or your chief, like, oh yeah, I'm cleaning the wall right here, chief. Looks clean. And you're not saying the right terminology. They're gonna tell you to correct that. They're gonna say, what? We don't have any walls in the Navy. We don't have any bathrooms in the Navy. And so start learning this now. The jargon, you might think it's like a whole new language. I guess you could say it is, because this a lot of tradition in the Navy. So many years of tradition, but there's always a story behind all of it. But bulkhead is wall.
Bunk or rack is going to be your bed where you sleep in. So usually call it a rack. I don't really hear it call it a bunk. I think the Marines use bunk more than we do. But yeah, so a lot of the times like, oh, I need to go to my rack real quick. You'll hear a lot of people say that, or go to your rack, or hit the rack, right? What it is, where you sleep in bed, the rack.
Buoy, an anchored float used as an aid to navigation or to mark the location of an object. So buoy, some of you might have gone sailing or fishing or gone to the ocean or on a boat. It makes more sense when you see it out in the ocean, but that's basically a floating device. They'll have different colors, red, green.
Just like a light on it.
Lights for nighttime, but it's for navigation. So there's always a purpose for something on the ocean for a ocean traffic. Just like on the road. So when you're driving on the road, you got markers and stop lights, traffic lights, yellow markers to separate you on the road for sailors and captains of ships. We have buoys. So that helps us direct the traffic in the ocean or on harbors, especially in harbors.
Carry on in order to resume work of duty. So I guess the best way they use this is when your CO usually walks through your space or just walking around. A lot of people call attention on deck, right, to pay their respects. He usually walks by and he says carry on. So it just means like continue doing what you're doing. So yeah, carry on.
cast off, to throw off. So to let go, to unfurl. So lines, you're gonna have a lot of lines for the ship, for anchoring, for mooring into port. So everything's got to be secure when we go into port. But when we depart our ports, we have to disconnect everything from the pier. So the piers have all the ships lined up. Everything's got to be moored and tied up to the pier. But as soon as we got to get going, say, hey, you know, we got to cast off all our lines.
Chit book, coupons or receipt book. The way we kind of use the chit too is just like it's a piece of paper. A lot of you guys like to travel too. Like here in New Mexico, we tell you guys, right, you got to come by, fill out a chit, right? It's what it is, just a piece of paper, kind of giving you either permission or just some type of information on there that gives you something, right, as far as travel. Or a lot of people have no shave chits, right? So they don't have to shave because of medical issues or whatever. But yeah, chit.
And yeah, going back to the tradition, there's a lot of tradition with the chits and everything, the books and everything. But now, when we go into our modern Navy and our computers and technology, everything is going paperless. You know, electronic this, electronic that, email it, or websites. So there's a lot of chits, like a leave chit will be electronic now. So if you guys have been with us for quite a while and you guys filled out a leave chit when you went out of town, that was the old paper version. Now, us here in the modern Navy, we do it all through a website, and we type in everything, type in our request, put in our address of where we're moving to, or not moving to, but traveling to, going on vacation, and we submit it up and route it up our chain of command. But now it's paperless. We don't even do the old school, I would say the handwritten old school leave chit. But in our office, we still do that. Because of course you guys don't have access to the website. So we still want to have you practice, you know, the fundamentals of it. And so that when you do fill out the electronic one, electronic leave chit is what I'm referring to right now, then it'll make sense to you. Oh, okay, that's how we used to do it. But now we got to do the old or the new modern way.
It's still good to know, because if your chief tells you, hey, redo your chit, they're going to be like, what the heck? What's a chit, right? So yeah, it's good to know.
Chow hall, mess decks, place to eat. That's self-explanatory right there. But mess decks, you'll hear that a lot. Mess decks. Chow hall is more for
land base, if anything. So,
Marines, Army, Special Forces.
If you're on a base, you'll go to the chow hall, but if you're on a ship, you go to the mess decks.
Yep.
But it's one and the same. Let's see. Colors. Raising and lowering of a national flag. Ceremonies held at 08 and sunset for hoisting and hauling down the nation's ensign. So colors, yeah, pretty much is going to be the ensign, right? We also have another flag in front of the ship called the jack. We have one here, actually. It's this one right there. And it says, don't tread on me. So there's two types. Usually, junior sailors are the ones doing these events. It's a ceremony that happens at 08, like it says here in the morning. You hoist them up, and you kind of pay your respects to the flag. The whole base just kind of stops for about, 5 minutes or so. And then once the ceremony's over, you kind of carry on, right? And then again, it happens sunset. So usually it's going to be the ensign and the jack for us.
Deck, horizontal planking or plating that divides a ship into layers. So the floor. So That's just kind of a specific description of what a deck is, which has different planks and platings, but overall it's the floor. So everyone get on deck, or everyone hit the deck, or everyone, anything with the deck, even flight, you'll for aviation, flight deck. So
Mess decks.
mess decks, floor. So, but like I said, whole different language now. So start getting used to the lingo.
Ensign, national flag, commissioned officers between the rank of chief warrant officer and lieutenant junior grades. So yeah, an ensign's gonna be probably one of the most junior officers right now. If a chief warrant officer, or lieutenant junior grade, they just call them lieutenant junior grade, and chief warrant officer usually call them just warrants. But yeah, so they wear butter. We call them butter bars. It's gold bars on their uniforms. That's how you know they're probably the most junior officer you're gonna have on board. So yeah, it's an ensign, and then it's also used as the American flag. We call it an ensign as well. And I guess a tradition back in the day was that the ensigns used to go and they used to do the ceremony themselves. So all the junior officers would do it, but now we do it.
Fathom. Fathom is a unit of length equal to 6 feet used for measuring the depth of water. So when it comes to measurements, everything, whether it's water, ingredients, there's all this math stuff that you learn at school, right? But when it comes to oceanography, maps or nautical charts is what we call them in the Navy. We don't call them maps, we call them nautical charts. Everything is measured by fathoms, the depths of the water, and then nautical miles. You hear that a lot, nautical miles. So that's just basically the fathom, the measurement of the depths of the water. So, and then it says equal to 6 feet used for measuring a unit of length equal to 6 feet. So,
First lieutenant, officer responsible to the XO for the deck department division aboard a ship of the commission maintenance supervisor ashore. So yeah, you have your regular lieutenants and then your first lieutenant. It's usually a lieutenant junior grade, that position. And again, like it says, they're pretty much in charge of safety, making sure their guys are using the right safety precautions, and then as well as maintenance on board a ship.
galley. The galley is the kitchen.
So you have the mess decks and then you have the galley. Don't get it confused. Galley is where you get your food. They serve it to you, and then the mess decks is where you eat it on. Gangway, the opening in a bulwark or lifeline that provides access to a brow or accommodation ladder, in order, meaning to clear the way. So yeah, someone's carrying something down, the P-way, passageway. They'll say gangway just to open up.
Gear locker is a storage room. So when you think of gear, or when we say gear, it's all our gear, all our equipment, either equipment for work or uniforms, personal gear, but that's just what we call it, gear. And then we have our own storage spaces for that. So locker. So we have a lot of lockers on board ships, on board our bases and facilities. Gear locker. I think we had one that was adrift, right? Yeah. We talked about gear drift. G-Dunk, that's my favorite.
Oh, G-Dunk, candy gum or cafeteria, pretty much vending machines, right? Or kind of candy or snacks. They call it G-Dunk. Pretty self-explanatory. Sodas, yeah, G-Dunk, that's all the bad stuff.
Let's go to G-Dunk. General quarters, battle stations. So this is definitely something you want to remember. Of course, you want to remember all of them. But when you hear this, either we're doing a exercise, training, we're always training 24/7. But if they say something like, "This is not a drill," general quarters, this is not a drill, something's about to go down. Whether it's something emergency, something bad is about to happen, or about to be attacked, or about to attack someone. And so they're going to tell you to man your battle stations. So everyone on board a ship has their own battle stations place they have to report to. Whether it's in the middle of night, morning, day, night, everyone's got to be accounted for, that they're in the position that they got to be. Make sure no one's sleeping or missing. If there's a man overboard drill, then we will determine if someone's missing. But that's a totally different thing. But with general quarters, that's when you know something's about to go down. All the things that you've been training on, for deployment or whatnot, everything is going to be real. Or if it's not real, and if they say it is a training environment, or this is a drill, then you always want to practice, as if it's for real. So, any questions on that? Because this is definitely important.
And everyone has a spot. Doesn't matter if you're a cook, if you just work to organize stuff, you have a position. So it's all hands type of evolution. Head, bathroom. So yeah, we don't call it the restroom. We call it the head.
Jackbox. Jackbox is part of the sound-powered phones system, circuit system. So Jackbox is just the access to that. But you'll see that up close. Of course, there's a lot of electronics on board our ships, a lot of modern equipment. But we always fall back on our basic fundamentals in the event that we don't have any power. So we always have sound-powered phones on board our ships, aircraft, just in case all communications go down, and we still have the backup of a sound-powered phone. So Jackbox is part of the circuits access box.
Ladder, device to allow movement of personnel from one level to another. I think it's supposed to be ladder well.
Ladder well.
Yeah, ladder well. So yeah, it's just so there's like Petty Officer Venus was saying, there's lots of levels to a ship. So you usually use a ladder well, or on top of it, what we call a scuttle that goes into a ladder well. So if you guys ever played Mario, the little scuttles he goes into, it's kind of like that. You just go down the ladder well. That's how you get from deck to deck.
Leave. Authorized vacation. So we're going back to the chits that we were talking about. Leave chits are requesting leave. Or even if you're just, I would say that's liberty. So we're not talking about liberty. We're talking about leave. You're approved to go on vacation. So before you can do anything, before you can get approved, you always want to request permission first. Okay? Because if you don't, unauthorized absences, AWOL, so you always got to have permission first.
Then there's different types. Obviously, you got your vacation time, so that's just personal leave, but there's medical leave, baby leave for the guys and the girls, maternity leave. Or if you go to the hospital, you got a surgery, right? You got that type of leave too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Transfer leave.
Yeah, transfer leave. So when you're switching duty stations, they give you leave in between time, right, to kind of get yourself situated, stuff like that. It's good. You want leave.
Liberty. All right, so I just kind of talked a little bit about liberty. Liberty is a little bit different than leave, but liberty, the way it says, permission to leave the base, usually for not more than 48 hours. So usually if you're going to be, you can always request leave however many days you want, but sometimes you can request liberty for 48 hours, less than 48 hours or so, depending on case-by-case situations. Maybe your commanding officer might have given it to you. Good examples is 3-day weekends. So we always have a lot of federal holidays. I think one's coming up in a couple weeks, Memorial Day weekend. So our commanding officer is going to give us hopefully a 3-day weekend. So Liberty is basically you're off of duty. You don't have any duties. You don't have any responsibilities until whenever you got to come back to work. You have permission to leave the ship or your base. You did what you had to do, and you're on liberty. So if you're working on a regular base or regular work schedule, like how we are, as soon as we're done with work, we can go home, go back to our family, go to our house, go on liberty until the next work day. Friday, come back on Monday. Deployments are a little bit different because now, especially if you are overseas in a different foreign country. So, of course, your commanding officer always has to take responsibility with everyone on the ship when they leave. So he or she always has to make sure that everyone knows the proper guidelines, restrictions when you leave the ship on deployment. So, of course, we've all told you many times, one of the best part of the Navy is when we travel. So we definitely, when we travel, we work hard, play hard, get to visit so many different foreign countries, exotic countries that you never even thought of. But there's always guidelines that we have to abide by. We can't just say, hey, peace out, see you, I'm going to be gone in about 2 weeks. I'll come back in 2 weeks. No, of course, you're going to have, you'll know when you're supposed to come back. If you have duty, if you have to stand watch, or if you have to do something on the ship, of course, you have to be on liberty first. Run it by your chain of command, your supervisor, your chief, and then they'll put it out and say, hey, okay, you can come back when you got to come back for duty or for work. Anything else?
Probably your first liberty ever will be when you're done with boot camp. So
Yeah,
that means you're done, right? When they usually say liberty call, liberty call. So yeah.
But just don't be late.
Yeah.
Don't be doing any bad stuff. Lifeline.
Lines erected around the weather decks of a ship to prevent personnel from falling or being washed over the side. So, especially on the smaller boats, I was on a DDG. Those are very important because they do very high maneuver stuff. So it's just pretty much like a wire that cuts across. It's a few of them, it's like 3 or 4 of them, right? Prevent you from falling over at night or if it's windy outside, so you don't blow over and stuff like that. So that's life.
I think someone had a question last meeting ago
About
falling off the
Yeah.
ship
So yeah.
or not. How do you not fall off? Pretty safe. Don't worry about it. It's safe. Overhead, it's easy ceiling. So just like there's no wall, it's bulkhead, overhead, bulkhead, overhead, and then the deck.
Passageway, call it a P-way. Pretty much what you call hallways. So in boot camp, don't call it a hallway, it's a P-way.
Quarters, assembling of all hands for muster, instruction, and inspection. So quarters, it's usually, in the beginning of the workday, but it can be in any time of the day, depending on your work schedule. But you basically assemble with either your space, your office, your division, your department, or even all hands, the whole ship or the whole base can always have some sort of quarters. Morning quarters, afternoon quarters, after lunch. But it basically, you can just kind of picture, when you first start off at work, you might have a meeting with your supervisor saying, hey, this is what's going on for today. You're going to be doing this, you're going to be doing that. Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone want to talk about something on what we're going to do today? The agenda, what you need to do, any meetings or appointments. And then also, it says muster, so of course mustering, meeting all together, instruction, so putting stuff out. And then the last part is inspection. So that's also a time where the chief or the division officer can do a uniform inspection. either a random one or even just a scheduled one. Say, okay, tomorrow we're gonna have a dress whites inspection. So have everybody get their stuff ready to go. Wear the dress whites, have your ribbons, have everything in order, all in uniformity. They'll check everything from top to bottom for your inspection. If there's something wrong, a discrepancy, they'll tell you to fix it right away. If you need a haircut, if you forgot to shave, or if you're missing stuff on your uniform, or maybe it's outdated, maybe you just made rank and then you didn't get the new chevrons, or maybe it just might be old and worn out uniforms. It's just starting to tear out. Maybe there's holes in it. Same thing with boots. When you have boots for a long time and you've been working on a shirt for quite a while, your boots start to worn out and there might be stuff on it, dirt or stains. So you always want to have what we call uniform inspection ready boots, or even inspection ready uniforms. So you might have a uniform just for work. All right, I wear this just for work. If it gets dirty, it's okay. But when I'm about to get inspected, have something else ready to go in your closet or on your somewhere in the ship. Say, hey, it's already pressed. Get it dry cleaned if needed, or if you know how to iron pretty good, where you don't burn your stuff, because so many people can burn their uniforms. But there's always a dry cleaner on base, pretty affordable, and you always want to stick out. You don't want to be just an average Joe. Oh yeah, this guy has an average uniform. It's all right. But if you have some squeaky clean uniform, nice haircut, clean shaved, everything's up to date, polished boots, you're going to learn how to shine those boots real fast at boot camp. But if you always have that, always consistent, you're always going to stick out. People are going to notice that right away. That's one of the easiest things to notice. First impression, especially if a new sailor, like, oh, who's this guy? Or who's this gal? Just looking at the uniform, you can already tell they're squared away. So,
Rating, a job, specialty, title. So yeah, so we just say rates. So someone asks you what's your rate, it's gonna be what's your job, right? I'm an OS, NC1's an NC. So yeah, it's pretty much what job are you doing, right? And then we have rating badges too, so you have a little symbol that kind of represents the job that you do.
So as you guys have probably noticed with other branches, we're definitely different than most of the branches except Coast Guard. So with Air Force and Army and Marines, very similar with some of their ranking system. And then you got, and they MOSs or just, sergeant or whatever. So rating is our title for that. Coast Guard has the same exact thing.
We like to also call ourselves by our ratings as well. Like NC1, you hear me call him NC1 because he's an NC and he's the first class.
Revly, Revly is wake up, start a new day. So it's always bright and early in the morning. Revly's when everything's supposed to start the day, getting ready for work, shower, get dressed, carry out the plan of the day, get ready for quarters or whatever the first thing is for your day. Breakfast.
Scullery? The scullery is a place to wash dishes. So you'll see on board where the mess deck is at. Once you guys are done eating, there's a guy washing dishes. He's in the scullery. So yeah, that's what it is. You wash your dishes there, or one person does it.
Scuttlebutt. This is one of my favorites too. Drinking fountain. So water fountains, drinking fountain. And then it also says a rumor. So it's kind of weird, huh? Drinking fountain, scuttlebutt, but also a rumor. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a whole new language. You know, you're not going to call it drinking fountain anymore, but scuttlebutt. Going back to what the other meaning is rumor. So back in the day, there's always a story behind everything. There's such an old traditional Navy, you know, over almost about 245 years old now for this year turning. There's always a story behind why we say what we say. So this is a good example I'm going to share with you why they call scuttlebutt rumors. So back in the day, I don't know what year it was, but it was way back in the day. People get thirsty, get a drink of water at the scuttlebutt drinking fountain. And so everyone would just roam around the scuttlebutt drinking fountain, start telling these rumors. Man, did you hear what this guy did? See what our boss did today? You know, just kind of chit chatting and just talking about whether it's work or something, just kind of, you know, hanging out and expressing for a bit, you know, during working hours. And then that's when everyone noticed that everyone would roam around the scuttlebutt drinking fountain to tell rumors. And so that's why now scuttlebutt is also known for rumors on the ship. So, oh, you guys heard the latest scuttlebutt? So just a little story behind that.
Secure, lock up, put away, or stop. Yeah, secure. They'll say a lot of secure talking or whatever. Or secure your gear. Pretty much just put it away, right? Put it in your rack. Secure it in your rack. Or secure for sea when you're about to go underway. Just want you to tie everything down and make sure nothing's going to be, you know, floating around or whatever. Be adrift, right? Hit someone, possibly hurt someone. Yeah. Sick bay is a hospital clinic. Simple, same thing. If you're feeling sick, they tell you, all right, go to sick bay. Right, go see the HMs, see what they could give you. Yeah. Swab is just a mop. Go grab the swab or swab the deck. Taps, time to sleep, end of the day. So yeah, the last thing they say over the 1MC, it's gonna be taps, lights out, right? So yeah, time to sleep, taps. Tattoo is 5 minutes before taps, so they'll say tattoo, 5 minutes till taps, pretty much. Top side is upstairs or on kind of how you come on the boat, right? Top side. Turn 2 to begin work.
Yep. All right, cool. So that was the entire Navy terminology based off the start guide. So of course, there's always going to be more. That's not the entire, you know, vocabulary of the Navy, but that's the fundamentals. So pretty basic. Just start practicing them. You know, as far as the ceiling, you know, overhead, the deck, the floor, the wall, you know, all the basic stuff that you're used to saying on a regular basis. It's going to be a little bit different now. Same thing with the alphabet, you know, A through Z. It's not just going to be the normal A through Z. And then same thing with military time. So we can go over this real quickly. Please let us know if you have any questions about the Navy terminology while we go through this. So I haven't seen any questions yet, but we're going to knock out military time real quick because it's pretty basic. As you can see, the clock here, military time, you see every hour, every time of a clock. And it's the biggest thing you got to remember with military time is 24 hours in a day. So that's what you got to go off of. Just go off 24 hours. From midnight is also, you know, you can see midnight in two different ways. You know, 2400 or all zeros. You start off from scratch, and then you go into 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 0100, 0200. So, but midnight or early in the morning starts off with a new day, all the way up until there's a new, you know, end of the night would be right after 11 o'clock at night. is midnight. So it's an ongoing circle. So if you can remember that, you just keep track of how the order is. So how else you can explain that?
It's just another way. So just like we were talking about the alphabet, right? Just for you to have something way clearer than just the regular, right? You can make a lot of mistakes if you say 5 a.m. or 5 p.m., right? Same thing. Instead of saying 5 a.m., right, you can say 05 or 5 p.m. 1700. So just way simpler things, so you don't have to think about it. That way you can communicate clearly.
And then I know a lot of people have digital watches, so you can always set it to like 12 o'clock,
24.
so 12 o'clock for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Even on your computers or even your cell phones. I'm pretty sure iPhones and Samsungs can do that too. So just by you changing that and start getting used to that already, right now it's civilian time, it's 6:10 p.m. So I wouldn't look at that at 6:10. I would just look at that at 18:10. 18:10 is equivalent to 6:10 p.m. For military time. So it's automatic for us because we already do it on a regular basis. If you guys do it on a regular basis and just forget about regular civilian time, it's 1 p.m. right now. No, it's going to be 1300. So just set all your stuff to military time because that's what you guys are now. So PM, so that would be, yeah. I don't know if they can see that. They can't really see it on their screen, but it's showing the clock, the shorthand. The shorthand is in between 1 and 2, and then the longhand is at 9. So what would that be? Can anyone tell us that? And it's AM now. So can someone write that on? See who can tell us what military time that is. If it's between 1 and 2, shorthand, and longhand is on the 9. For AM now, what is it? Is anyone still paying attention? Oh, wait. Oh, yep, we got Future Sailor Lopez. You are the winner. But, so there's 2 different ways that you said it, right? So the way that you said it, Future Sailor Lopez, on the chat, you wrote it as if you're still a civilian. And so the next person next to you, I believe that's Future Sailor Fisher Brown. Correct me if I'm wrong, Vagabond Entertainment. And also Future Sailor, is that Future Sailor Leos? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so Future Sailor Fisher Brown and Future Sailor Leos typed it in correctly with how you're supposed to say it in or write it out in military time. But with Future Sailor Lopez, you still did the colon in between, so that's still civilian time. So just keep that in mind. Yep, that's Future Sailor Fisher Brown. But yeah, so you guys are all correct with the little corrections that Future Sailor Lopez needs to work on, but you got the good concept of what it is. But I don't know if you have examples how you write it. All right, so yeah, we don't have to get into that. I know you guys can't hear it, but the way you write it, yeah, you don't use the colons anymore. It's just all numbers, and it's always 4 digits.
Yeah.
So even if you want to say 1 o'clock p.m., you still put 1300, 1300, with no colons on there. Just 1300.
So usually too, they have year, month, day, right? And then your time, a timestamp on like your orders and stuff like that, just so you know kind of what all the numbers mean.
All right, so we went over phonetic alphabet, Navy terminology, and military time. So we're gonna close it up with physical fitness. Of course, we can't do physical fitness, but we're gonna talk about it a little bit. Kind of just things that you guys need to work on, things that you guys can discuss, or things that you guys can start practicing and focusing on for the for RTC, Recruit Training Command Boot Camp. And then I know I put out that, what is it called? The Recruit Training Command prior to arrival guide on our WhatsApp. This was back about a month ago for our last Dep meeting. I put it out. Everyone should have it. If you guys don't have it, I can put it out again. But it's this one right here. Recruit Training Command Pre-Arrival Physical Training Plan. So it's a good read. It's a good tool. Talks about all the different types of workouts, exercises, warm-ups. What is it called? Infos? No. Infos. That's what the types of workouts we do now. Calisthenics? The ones that they taught us. So, but there's a lot of training that's on that guide. But the easiest thing right now, if you guys haven't logged or haven't done your runs, is download the Nike app, Nike Run app. So I know a lot of you guys, that, especially for the new future sailors who just joined, you might have seen people post their times and proof, of course, showing proof, showing motivation to everyone else, showing that you guys are doing something during this pandemic, because you don't want to be too complacent with where you are and just staying home and just, doing your whole social distancing, but you can still work out. And by recording your time on the Nike Run app, keeps track of your time, shows us that you're doing it, and shows everyone else, whether it's motivation or competing against each other. I know Future Sailor Penads or maybe Future Sailor Bitzer or Future Sailor Evans probably competing against each other, who could run faster, but just also keeping track of how you are. So it records your time and your distance. So you're going to be tested on a 1.5 mile run. So of course you're going to know if you've got at least run at least 1.5 miles for your run on the Nike app, but it'll also tell you exactly, any extra distance you recorded for your run. So you might be a little bit further, 3 miles, 5 miles, 2 miles, and then you can see your score or your times. Do you have anything for as far as working out?
So it's very important that you guys start. If you guys haven't, you guys are behind the ball already. It's very, very serious, because if you don't pass your PFA, your initial one, you're not going to graduate boot camp. And you did all this work, right, to get into the Navy, and you're going to throw it away pretty much, because they're not going to let you advance from there if you don't pass it. So if you haven't already, definitely buckle down and start working on that run, because that's what really kicks people's butts, is the run. If you don't know your times, please contact your recruiter. They should have it, so you know exactly what to hit in order for you to pass. Like I said, it sucks seeing a sailor or a future sailor come back not being able to join because they can't pass a run. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't be that way, right? So take it very seriously. Once you pass that initial one, it does get a little easier because there's alternatives, but you have to pass that initial run. And I can't stress enough how important it is, because you don't want to be that person that comes back home to your parents or your friends and be like, hey, I failed out because I couldn't run, right? Not only is it embarrassing, but, you're kind of letting yourself down, because, again, like I said, putting in all this work, right? You did the process, you did everything, you waited your time, you went to the Dep meetings, and now you threw it all away because why? You didn't want to run. So super important, super important.
All right, so yeah, of course, 1.5 mile run is one of the biggest events for your physical fitness test. Curl-ups, also known as sit-ups and push-ups. So at the next Dep meeting, we'll go over that stuff in detail. We'll show you examples of how to do everything. But I know there was a lot of questions about these planks. So I know you guys do a lot of research online. There's all these little blogs or people discussing about planks. So that's, that's slowly coming into the works. I believe boot camp is starting to test that. So it's not official as of the entire Navy as far as planks. So if you guys are wondering, hey, are we going to do planks at boot camp? Are we going to be doing planks in general? So the answer is yes, you're going to be doing planks. We haven't done planks yet, especially, of course, during this pandemic. But it's still in the works. I know when the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy came here about 4 months ago, we asked him that same question. Hey, Master Chief, are we starting to do planks now? So he said they're still doing a lot of tests. They're still doing a lot of study on it to make sure how they're going to incorporate it, test us, all that stuff. But if you guys don't know what planks is, it's basically holding your whole body straight as almost like a push-up position, but with your forearms touching the deck, and your body's got to be completely straight. And so I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it. If you haven't heard about it, I'm sure you can find something online, but you haven't heard anything new about it, right?
No.
But it's still in the works. Some former future sailors have said that they are doing it at boot camp. But I would guess right now that it's still being tested with the recruits, because usually you guys at the in the recruit level at basic training, usually you guys test all the first stuff first. So I'll do more research on that as far as what boot camp's doing. But it's definitely coming soon. As far as holding, so that was Future Sailor Claude Felter. So she had a question about if you have to hold your hands like this or do it like this.
I think there's instructions yet to how we're gonna.
There's so many ways how you can do it, but yeah, there's no instruction in place yet. So as soon as the PT team for the Navy physical fitness program talks about it, then they're going to put it out in place. But that's a good question. But I've done it I've done it both ways. It all depends on how.
Yeah, I don't think it affects you though.
Yeah, I don't think it affects. Everyone has different, preferences, but either you have big hands or small hands. But that's just how we usually do it. I don't know if you can go like this, but I'm assuming you might have it together in some sort. But still a good question, Future Sailor. But yeah, everyone needs to download the Nike Run app. So especially with the new Future Sailors that just joined us, Future Sailor Rector, Future Sailor Leos, and Future Sailor Anchando. If the weather is nice now, it's hot at most times, so definitely pick the right time to run outside. Be safe. Tie your shoes. Always hydrate beforehand and afterwards. Stretch and warm up properly before and after, because we still want you in one piece. Just keep you ready for boot camp, eligible for boot camp, and not injured. That's it for the physical fitness portion of our training. So we're going to start wrapping it up. In addition to, as far as physical training, for the people, and I already put it out last meeting, for the people that you guys know who you are, still need to come into the office for weight checks. So if you're close to making your maximum weight, when I mean close, you guys know what you mean. You guys know who you are. Whether you're underneath or you're way over or way under, or a little bit under, you need to check in with your recruiter face-to-face in person to check your measurements, check your weight, just to show progress. And of course, we're going to ask you to always tell us your run times, your Nike Run app run times, just to showing proof that you've been doing it and showing your progress. So definitely very, very important. But I'm sure your future sales or your recruiters have reached out to you one time or another. So, but don't be too complacent. Homework, I think, is the next one. So homework, I didn't. It's not on there, but of course, always referrals. You can make rank just by giving us referrals. So I'm sure you've had a lot of former future sailors. Can you kind of give an example
For referrals,
It's like how many?
right? As far as like how much they gave to me. So basically, for a referral, right? We want people like yourselves that already joined, right? So within height and weight standards, usually every month that we contact you or every time we call you, you should be giving us a referral. All right. Again, this is only going to benefit you guys. It's only going to benefit you because one, that pay grade, and not only that, but you're going to give that other person the opportunity to kind of, have the same life that you're going into, right? Have the same benefits as you, pretty much, yeah. So every time we contact you, definitely referrals, and like I said, a lot like you guys. Okay, I see. So as far as how to make rank with referrals, so 2 referrals or 2 qualified people that join the Navy, just like you guys did, will give you 1 rank up. All right. So if you're at E1 right now, and you come to me and you give me 3 referrals, right? I'll put you at E2, right? 1 more, I'll put you at E3. All right. So 4 referrals can get you all the way up to E3. So that's what you want, right? That way you don't have to wait that much to take the E4 exam, and you can get paid more money, right? But yeah, pretty much it. So 2 referrals per pay grade.
Higher rank means higher paycheck. So that's more money in your pocket straight from the get-go. I already know for a fact future sailor Jordan connection is kind of off. Can you guys still see us? Listen, okay, I think it's good now. I think it was saying that there was some sort of connection problem. But yeah, I know future sailor Bartley has given us 1 referral, and now she's given us another one. So I'm still confirming the second one. So good job, future sailor Bartley. Just hang in there. We'll get everything confirmed, and you should be getting something your way shortly. So as far as other homework, so always referrals. But the main homework that I want all of you guys to do is to write an essay. So at least a 1-page essay. I don't want anything too short, just 2 paragraphs or something, but at least a 1-page essay or more on why or what you think the Navy can help you with your life. Why do you think the Navy can help you with your life? So what are the things that it can help you in your, whether your future or what's going on in your current situation, or your future that you want to accomplish, or as far as you as a person, as a professional worker, or education, or in life, or in your personal life, or in the way it can help you with your attitude. Just in general, what can the Navy help you with in your life? How can it help you? So 1-page essay for everyone by the end of this month. So it's already May 11th. So you got until the last week of the month. So just report that back to your recruiters. You can email it to them, which is always the easiest way. Microsoft Word document, or if you're coming into the office, you can bring it in person. But I'll reiterate this on the WhatsApp after this meeting. But that's your homework. So kind of think a little bit hard on this. Don't just say, "Oh yeah, it's gonna help me make money or help me get out of the house or be independent." But a little bit more than that. What is it going to do to help you with your life? Okay, so just really think about it and have some good thought. Make sure you have good grammar. Kind of proofread it. Have someone proofread it or spell check, especially spell check. Preferably on Microsoft Word document or any type of document on your computer by typing in it. It's always the best way, because if you handwrite it, you may not always, be able to read your handwriting, especially nowadays with everyone's cursive or whatever print. So, but if you don't have a computer, everyone should, whoever's on here has some sort of, whether it's a cell phone. You know, I know it might be kind of hard to write an essay on a cell phone, but yeah, if you don't have
I've
it,
been doing online classes.
yeah, so you should be able to do online classes. But yeah, just let us know if you have any issues with that, but preferably a typed document, 1 page. Yep, so we're wrapping it up. I think we're gonna have our next step meeting in another couple weeks from now. So just be on the lookout for that. So this video is recorded on our YouTube channel, so it stays on there until I delete it. So even the last previous one, if you guys missed it, is still on there. So whoever is not on here, or if you missed a couple of sections and you don't understand something, or you want to rewind it and go back to the terminology or go back to something else, this will be recorded. Let's see. Okay, so Future Sailor Clodfelter was just putting out that you can download the Word document app on your phone. So, and it's free for a month. So, hey, if you're a fast typer or a fast texter, I guess you can do an essay on your phone. So, who would have thought? So, thank you for that input, Future Sailor Clodfelter. So that reminds me of our last part of our Dep meeting. And then we're going to be calling it done for today. Is our monthly awards. And so, without further ado, we want to put out a few awards. So the first award, and I know we don't see you in person, we can't present it to you and take pictures, so we apologize. But once this whole stuff comes to a close and we can kind of have more Dep meetings and see you guys more in person in the office, we'll definitely give you your certificates. So you guys definitely earned it. So I know last month was Future Sailor Bitzer. This month, the first award is Most Improved Future Sailor. Also a Future Sailor of the Month, but in the Most Improved category is Future Sailor Cassidy Clodfelter. So great job, Future Sailor Clodfelter. You might have seen her score, her times and her run times all over the WhatsApp. She's definitely motivating people just by doing that. She's worked hard these past few months. I already told her that we're planning on shipping her out early. But that just goes to show all the hard work that she's had. So I know this is just a virtual award right now, but still it shows that everyone here at the office with the recruiters have noticed that, and we only picked one of those people for the awards, and you got it. So congratulations. Round of applause, says Future Sailor Fisher Brown. All right, and the next two awards, I guess I can call it our Spec War Award. So Special Forces, Special Warfare Awards for the Future Sailors that just got selected for their Special Forces contracts. So we had 2 of them just recently, 2 of them. Last month it was Future Sailor Bitzer. This month we got Future Sailor Evans, Benjamin Evans. He's going to be EOD. And then also our short but determined Future Sailor Delaney Morales. So she's probably one of our shortest Future Sailors, besides Future Sailor Jermaine. I think Future Sailor Jermaine will always be our shortest Future Sailor ever. But Future Sailor Delaney Morales is just right there, barely like 5 foot, 100 pounds, and she got selected for Navy Diver. So for Future Sailor Morales. So great job for those 2 Spec War certificates, awards. So that's our awards for this month. Get more next month. So keep on doing a great job. Before we close it out, I know we're losing a lot of you guys as far as the particular here. I don't know if it's a bad connection, but like I said, this is recorded still. So if you guys missed this section, you guys can definitely watch it again later. But if you guys have any issues with your contract, if you guys have any issues with shipping out to boot camp, if you are unhappy, if you need to talk to us, you need to talk to us right away. Talk to your recruiter and talk to me. and we need to address any issues that you may have, whether it's for a personal issue, a family issue, um, things that might stop you from going to boot camp, whether it's injuries, tickets, going to court, of course, weight issues. We're always addressing that on a constant, every day, if you're getting overweight. ID cards, just with driver's license, ID cards, you lost it, social security cards, we start collecting all those social security cards a month before you ship out. So once you get closer, we'll talk to you guys about that. But you need to know where your social security card is at all times, because that's what you need to bring to boot camp, or else you can't go to boot camp. Your ID cards, current and valid ID cards, state or government issued, valid, and if you don't have a state ID, you can use valid passports. So unexpired passports is good. If you're not a citizen, you can use a unexpired green card. So those are appropriate identification. But all those things are very important to shipping out. Your well-being, of course, staying, COVID-19 free. Let us know any type of issues with any sicknesses, fevers, getting quarantined due to a family member, getting tested, if you had to get tested for COVID-19, and then following up with us with the results. But yeah, if you have any issues with stuff like that, or just personal issues, mentally, physically, we need to know about that. Please don't keep it a secret. Talk to us, let us know, we'll address it, but don't just wait till the last minute. Don't just tell us a couple weeks beforehand, oh, I'm about to ship out in 2 weeks. Oh, something happened, or I'm thinking about some things. I'm not anymore, or whatever you're feeling is feelings. But if you don't address it to us, we won't be able to help you. But I know some things you can't help, but you can't just keep it inside yourself all the time. You have to let us know. But no matter what you're feeling, we're all human. So we're not robots. We don't have just, I don't feel anything. I'm a robot. I'm just monotone, or I'm hard like a rock. I won't cry. I won't get mad. I'm just ready to go to boot camp. But if you don't feel something, then you're weird, because you might actually be a robot. But people are going to have feelings when they're leaving for boot camp. So getting scared, getting nervous, getting frightened, having these thoughts going through your mind, but that's totally normal. We all went through the same thing. It's normal. Like I said, if you're not feeling that way, then you're weird, or you have no feelings, or whatever. You're just very tough, or just full-blooded, or whatever, or hard upbringing, or whatever. But still, you're still going to have feelings. And so, no matter what you're feeling, we want to help you, or we want to at least talk about it with you. So please don't keep it a secret. Don't tell us last minute, or by the way, or out of the blue, and any other concerns that you may have, whether it's health-wise, police, drugs, anything. So that's what we're here for mentorship, training. We did a lot of good training today. So all this stuff is for you guys. I mean, we're already in the Navy, so we don't need to keep learning this all over again. We graduated boot camp, but you guys are the future of the Navy. We want to make sure you keep it that way. You guys succeed. And is there anything else? But just please let us know. If you need to talk, please talk. If you say you're good, but we definitely want to address any issues, and don't be scared to talk to us. If you want to talk to a female recruiter, I know you guys, most of you guys know to talk to Petty Officer Lyons. If you want to talk privately, you can talk privately. But same thing with your family members too. If your family members have any issues, parents, relatives, uncles, aunts, cousins, boyfriends or girlfriends, we can talk to them as well. So we're all here to help. But unless anyone has any other questions, I'll just wait about a half a second or half a minute or so to see if anyone's gonna type in any questions before we let you guys go. But we're just about done. Let's see if there's any questions. Workouts, homework. I don't see any questions yet, so I'll just wait a few more seconds. But I appreciate you guys staying online. So, but like I said, this is all recorded for you guys to watch later on. And if you guys want more training, I can put out more training on the WhatsApp. But yep, no more questions. So you guys are good to go for today. So we're signing off here from undisclosed location. Not at the office, but good job, guys. Good training. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks for the next virtual Dep meeting. Thank you.